ended up unplugging my mic. It's a good mic, but it's hard. It's always hard to see when it's bright sun whether or not I had it connected. But I apologize. But yeah, so this is where I'm at. There's a helicopter. Okay, so I apologize that my mic wasn't connected, so you probably didn't. I ended up really just talking to myself at that moment. But yeah, I'm here at Fort Myers Beach, and this is the area in Southwest Florida that really did get hit. I don't even know how to describe how it got hit, but Hurricane Ian decimated this island, and it's hard to say there's anything left. It's really hard to say. I mean, you definitely still see buildings standing, and you see structures that got minimal damage, but that's maybe, from what I've seen, maybe like 10% of what I'm seeing. Most 90% of this island is gone. It really is. You see this, what I'm looking at in this location right here, there's a building. I'm guessing a hotel. I don't know all the properties on the island, so I'm not 100% sure. But in the distance here, I'll see if I can zoom. It might not be the best. You can see there's a building right down, completely collapsed. That's what I've been seeing throughout this entire time here on the island, is just collapsed buildings. And this is a month. So this is a month after Hurricane Ian. There's buried vehicles. Saw, piles of just debris everywhere as they're doing the recovery efforts. But it almost seems like the hurricane just hit, because it still is unbelievable. Not that a month can make much progress, because the first concern was safety for everyone. But now that the island is open for those that live on the island and for those that are coming to help with the recovery efforts, there's some movement. The piles of debris, though, is unbelievable. Just unbelievable. It just can't even. I know of some of you that have been following the hurricane, you might have been seeing in the news the videos and on something like this, live streams, the flyovers. But till you're actually here and looking at it, the videos and pictures don't even show description, I should say, of what you actually do see. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm here at the Gulf Coast side, so I didn't want to. I'm not gonna, go and showcase in the neighborhoods or around the businesses. I don't want to be that gawker. I want to be respectful to the people that are here. It's tragic that so much has been lost, and but even here beachside, I think it's pretty safe to share how much debris has landed beachside a month already. And I know there's been big organizations already coming in to clean up. A ton of sand. This whole landscape's completely changed. Levels are high because pretty much all the beach has eroded off, and you're seeing water levels at locations you've never seen before on the beach. But mostly just the amount of trash. So it's hard to believe that this is going to get cleaned up. I mean, it has to be cleaned up. But thankfully it will get cleaned up. Oh look, someone left. I can do a science experiment with this bottle. Let me see. Let me flip it. That's a pretty big bottle right there. I don't know why it's randomly sitting here. Let's see. is a big bottle. Look at that. And it's sealed. I do a science experiment. What do you think? You think there's alcohol in that bottle? Or do you think someone just filled it with water and capped it off? Because it is capped off. But just sitting upright right here on the... how could you test for either one? Well, with being out in the full sun, I would probably test, to decide if this... Here, I'm chemical chem, so it has to be science. But to decide what this is alcohol or if it's water, and I'm in the full sun, so I probably would check its evaporation rate. We know that alcohol evaporates pretty quickly. Although, that would be a hard test as well, because if it's, it's Jameson whiskey. I mean, it probably has a high alcohol content, but there's still quite a bit of water in there. So that'd be an evaporation test. Maybe that would be a way. Smell for sure. Taste, definitely. Hey, good day. Nice for you to join. Yeah, I'm beachside here. Why not challenge myself, since I am beachside at Fort Myers Beach where Hurricane Ian came through. There's a lot of debris, a lot of rubble. Being chemical chem, I'm going to do a little scavenger hunt and see if there's anything here that I could use for a science experiment. Recycle, right? Pick up the debris and use it for science. Why not? And I found a pretty good bottle, pretty good sized bottle right here. Again, I'm not sure what the liquid is on the inside, but that would be a science experiment in itself, trying to figure out what the liquid is. Pretty cool. Yeah. So, thanks so much. You're so kind for saying that. Thanks for joining me on my live, and I appreciate all of your support. But yeah, so I'm gonna flip the camera. If you see something that chemical chem could use for a science experiment, because there's a lot of trash, a lot of debris after the hurricane, and why not recycle and reuse? And I am that person, as you all know, if you've been following me, I am that person that likes to go even to the dollar store and do science. Hey, what is this? What could this be? Let me see. I don't know if this is a science experiment, but it's an audio tape record on the hunt ball. There's a couple of them right here. Wouldn't that be sad if I accidentally picked up like a porn video? That would be inappropriate, and that would not be Chemical Chem's platform. But thankfully, this is a safe PBS. It looks like a American Experience movie. But yeah, so this blew out of someone's home. I'm not sure what science experiment I could do with that. There are definitely, there's bottles, of course, plastics that you can use. I see a whole set of, these trays. Here we go. There's a whole packet. It's like a whole unused packet of these polypropylene clear deli containers. If I had a classroom of school kids, we could do lots of science experiments in these little trays. Trays are great for whenever you have to do science experiments with large groups of people. Oh, hi. Thanks for joining. I'm at Fort Myers Beach. I'm actually in the area that did get hit heavily by Hurricane Ian. I'm beachside. I'm not going to showcase the damage of people's homes and businesses because I don't want to gawk. But I just also wanted to share with you, because I live down here, how it looks like, at least on the beach side, a month after. And there's a ton of debris, as you see. There's a ton of debris on the beach, but I always like to challenge myself, being chemical chem, and seeing if there's trash here that I can find that I could do a science experiment with. Oh my gosh, it's almost like I'm dumpster diving here. Let's see. What could this be? Oh, that just looks like a handle or part of a broom. Let me know if I'm missing anything. If you see something like, hey, you could do a science experiment with that. I think what's fascinating is, like, I came across, if you saw earlier, I came across um, uh, a Jameson. I think it was a whiskey bottle. It had a lot of liquid in there. I'm not sure if it had alcohol or water, but here's another one. So there is a liquid in here, and it's a body wash. So is it all body wash, or did it just get? Oh no, I'll tell you right now, it's just filled with water. Well, dirty water, because you can see. I don't know if you can see that. You can see floaties down at the bottom of this one. So yeah, I'm pretty certain this was just filled with water sitting here. But maybe oh, here, science experiment. You could fill this up with some vinegar and water and throw a tablespoon of baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate. And because this lid, and I'm not going to open it up because the water's probably gross, but because this lid has a little spout, once you put the lid on, and that little spout, you'll see shoot out that gaseous carbon dioxide with a lot of water. That can be a fun science experiment. So there you go. You can find a science experiment in anything, right? A fun little science activity you can do at home. So that's what I'm doing, just kind of, trying to make something fun out of something so unfun, and that is, of course, all this trash that has been left behind by Hurricane Ian, and seeing if I can find any of the... Oh wait, what is this can over here? Oh, and there's a ball. That's interesting. Is this one of those... Oh, okay, some of you might know the game, but I haven't played this game. I think this is one of those, I think it's like Bocce ball or something. It's like it's a game. It's kind of like, if I'm right about this, you do it it's a lawn game where you try and like roll the ball across the lawn, get it into a target, kind of like shuffleboard, but on your lawn. I think this ball is for that. I'm guessing, but it's got a kind of a weight to it. It has kind of a weight to it. But yeah, and the crazy thing too is, like, this is the garbage that you see, of course, but so much sand has moved from the storm surge and the flooding. It completely changed the landscape, and I don't even know. You don't even, like, there could be a car buried in the sand over here, because we've seen spots where you just see a hood, or you just see like a wheel, and it's just sticking out of debris or sand. So there's just crazy how much has gotten moved here. Live stream. I thought it'd be interesting just to stay beachside here, Florida, in Fort Myers, because it's a reminder, as tragic as the island has gotten hit by the hurricane and the devastation. It's a nice reminder, especially with the beautiful ocean here. This is the Gulf Coast. This is in Southwest Florida. That, nature's beautiful. Nature always wins the battle, of course, because the hurricane took over. But it's still a beautiful, beautiful beach. And that will never change. Like a full trash container. Okay, what science experiment could I do with this big trash container? Well, I haven't done it before, but I've seen a few people like Steve Spangler and even like Kate the Chemist, which are fantastic science influencers as well, to follow. But they take the trash container, right? You could even do this beachside because it's safe for the environment. And you filled up with, would you fill it up with liquid nitrogen or water? What do you think? If you've ever seen this before, but they dump either water or liquid nitrogen into the other, and then it throws up a plume of fog. It's a really cool science demonstration using a trash container like that. But you would actually put liquid nitrogen first, because what happens when you put the hot water or the warm water onto the liquid nitrogen, liquid nitrogen's density is lower than the density of water. So liquid nitrogen's density would float, or wants to float. So when you throw water onto it, it wants to come up to the top. And so it kind of has this like violent movement. And in that violent movement, it interacts more with the hot water, creating more of the fog. So I've seen that demonstration performed again by Steve Spangler and Kate the chemist and a few other really great science influencers. Haven't done it myself, but now I know where to get a container if I need to, give that one a try. But yeah, so, it's how my head, for those of you that follow me and have been with me on socials for a number of years, or even maybe you had me as a professor. I have that kind of brain, and you might be like this as well, where you just can't turn it off. So even when I have a day off, I'm still always thinking science. It's kind of interesting. Let's see what this is right here sitting on the beach. Okay, so it looks like, I was going to say it was an appliance, but it kind of looks like, let's see, what is that? Is that a refrigerator? I could be, no, it can't, no, it's not a refrigerator because it looks like it has some kind of air conditioning system going on there. Or, well, it could be, actually, it could be just a large refrigerator with its cooling system. Yeah, and a pair of sunglasses sitting on top. But I actually like this surface right here. Look how nice and rigid that surface is right there. That'd be a nice little tabletop bench. But yeah, so you can definitely see there's quite a bit of debris. So this is the other, whoops, sorry for my camera movements. Yeah, so this is beachside here down in Fort Myers, but Fort Myers Beach to be more specific. And Fort Myers Beach is an island. And when Hurricane Ian came through about a month ago, it completely decimated the island. The island is in ruins. I mean, all the structures and houses have been damaged. Many of them completely gone. I'm, of course, on beachside because you probably have seen the videos and pictures. It's been put up quite a bit throughout the month, but I didn't want to go over to people's houses and show, property and be that gawker. But, beachside I think is pretty safe. Plus it allows me to stay away from interfering at all with the relief effort, because there's a lot of people here we know that are cleaning up the debris, companies that are coming in, fixing their I wouldn't say fixing their properties. I think at this point it's just either removing their the buildings on the property or debris. But what is this? What is this? Now again, this is just beachside here that I'm at. And this is minor. This is really minor compared to things I've seen throughout the island. There's something pretty large here. Oh, looks like it's from a boat. Look at that, it's like a just completely ripped off fishing boat. To be more specific, right there you put your fishing poles. And now obviously people are coming to the beach to help pick up the trash. There's spots that people are piling up trash and, doing their part to help. Look at this. This is ripped off the back. There's a license plate ripped off the back of someone's vehicle. I won't go close to it because it does have a number on it. And I want to be respectful to that owner. But this is interesting. This is kind of cute. Someone maybe tried to bring a smile to those that have to deal with this every day. And set up a little table and bench here, beachside. Hey, and this would be, like I said, I'm trying to find different things that I could use to do science experiments. Here you go. Look at that. Someone got creative, like I would get creative. And you make a little table, a little bench, you could do an experiment. And a perfectly good life jacket. Look at that. Perfectly good life jacket. So, yeah. Okay, I think, is that Lizzie? I would love to walk down and help pick up if I could. Oh, yeah. Don't worry if you, I know you might not live in the area, and in regards to like helping the cleanup effort, this will probably be needing assistance even a year from now. And I say that because even though we can surface clean, there's so much rubble and trash that has been covered by sand. And I'm not an expert in terms of how they're moving the sand, but I do know they are moving the sand. We have seen spots located along the beach where they're shifting through the sand, which is good. But yeah, I think pretty much on my days off like today, I'll be spending a lot of those days at the beach just picking trash up, which is, hopeful, because I'm not alone. There's tons of people that are doing the same, and I'm really hopeful we're going to be cleaning up the beaches pretty quickly. But like I said, a lot of it got buried in the sand, so that's going to be hard. So with that said, yeah, I agree with you. It'd be nice to have more hands on the beach, but don't worry, I think we're going to have lots of hands on the beach picking up the trash. Thankfully, and I hope other areas that aren't as fortunate as this area with having so much help do get the help, because there are definitely areas in the world that need help with trash pickup for sure, 100%. But yeah, you can see the Gulf is beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful Gulf. Yeah, it's still so beautiful. I know. That's what's like. There's moments it's like I want to cry because you see such devastation when you look the other way. So you look in this direction, your heart just hurts, and you just, you can't think too much because it's overwhelming. It's way, way overwhelming. And then you turn around and you look behind me and you see the beautiful beach, so hope, I guess, that is one benefit here with having such tragedy in this area. It is beautiful here. Don't get me wrong. It's just incredibly beautiful. So yeah, and I thought it would be a good way of, first just showing beachside what it looks like a month after the hurricane hit, and encouraging, with so much trash, encouraging others to maybe do what I do. And I like to, like I said, I like to reuse stuff, and I like to find out a way I could use something for science. Obviously, being Chemical Kim, it's kind of cool to challenge myself. I like to go into the dollar store and say, hey, what could this be used? So wait, what is this over here? Let's take a look. Okay. Okay, here you go. It probably does not run, but look at that. It's a sander. See that? Look at this. This is a sander. It probably doesn't run, but if it did, I have actually, this is a Halloween science activity. I'll walk you through. Okay. You set this sander, because it vibrates, right? When it sands, it makes a vibration, and there's a vibrating motor in there. So you could take advantage of that vibration movement. And if you make something that people will call ulick, I don't call it that. It's just starch and water. And you thicken that starch and water, so you kind of make this like goopy starch and water mixture, and you put it on top of this and you let it vibrate, and you'll actually get dancing ghosts. It's kind of like a cool Halloween science activity. So there you go. That's what I would use. That's how I would use that, reuse that for doing a little science activity that's Halloween based, using that vibration to make some dancing ghosts with the properties of starch and water. It's kind of cool. So yeah, it's so random what you find, but I love doing these things. It's sort of a scavenger hunt of like, okay, what can I do with this? Is there an application instead of it going into the landfills? Reuse it, recycle it if possible. There's a few sand toys. Could collect them, give them to, some daycares. They always need sand toys, for the kids. So yeah, you'll see throughout the beaches these garbage containers, which are great, and garbage spots. Or if there's not a garbage container, for people that have been coming to the beaches to pick up trash, just kind of like locating the trash in certain spots. So, but I wouldn't tell people to come here yet to start picking up trash, because you do not want to flood the streets, and you want to allow, you don't want to flood the streets. You want to allow, for the big recovery efforts in the actual island. You want to let the trucks get in and everyone that needs to get in. And there are people that are back in their home living here on the islands. And there's also concern too, because you do have, this water here that will get washed through out into the Gulf Coast when the tides change. But bacteria has been found and is still remaining in these waters. So I was going to walk over, but I recognized I don't want to walk through the water. I don't know if I have a cut on my foot. So it's best to try and stay out of the waters in this parts of Florida for now. They are doing testing daily to let people know where it's safe and where it's not safe, but definitely standing water, guaranteed there's bacteria in that water. So you got to keep it safe. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me on this little live. Had a few of you join, which is nice. I'll leave it posted for the public if anyone wants to watch this later. But I guess if anything, I'd like to say, comment. I'm looking forward to the experiment. If I could, then we'll lay a hand to that clean beach. Yeah, I appreciate that. It would be great to get lots of hands on the beach to start cleaning up. But again, like I said, if you do live in the area, or you're thinking about coming down to Fort Myers Beach or Fort Myers or anywhere here in Southwest Florida to help the cleanup effort, I wouldn't come to Fort Myers Beach to do it yet, just because they just can't have the traffic on the island. But a couple months, I think they'll be ready to have people come down and help pick up trash and pick up debris. But there's lots of areas north of Fort Myers Beach and south of Fort Myers Beach that still has a lot of trash on the beaches. And those areas you can definitely come and visit and maybe make a little vacation and come down and pick up some trash on your vacation, kind of help out. If that's, something you're thinking, I would really love to help with that, cleaning up the environment, especially for all the birds and aquatic life that are coming back after the hurricane. So apparently there were 2 eagles. I didn't know this, but they had webcammed an eagle couple that lived on this island. They had a webcam set up at the nest, and of course disconnected during the hurricane. No one knew what happened to the eagles. But a week ago, I think it was about a week ago, the eagles came back and they were spotted back on the island. So that's exciting. I think that those that live here on Fort Myers Beach was really happy to see, the eagles have come back. So, it's going to be a long recovery, but it's not hopeless. I know a lot of people probably feel it is, and it looks like it would be, but I'm an optimist, and I know, thankfully this area does have, it has a good amount of money for the recovery, so that's a good thing. But yeah, so I love having all of you join me, and it's great that you follow me on science. Maybe I'll find some of the debris here and take it back to my lab and come up with a cool science experiment to share with trash. So, but for now, stay curious and have a fantastic day. If you're starting your weekend, have a great weekend. If that's not coming until after tomorrow, you're still going to have a great weekend. So, bye for now.